Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the Emergency Temporary Guardianship, also known as an ETG. Now, let me explain permanent versus emergency. So a permanent guardianship, and I say the word permanent because that's what the statute calls it, but permanent doesn't mean it's forever. I would tell you that most of our guardianships go on for about a year, maybe a little bit longer. Why? Well, because in our experience, typically takes about a year for someone to not only experience recovery from some type of behavioral health issue, but to develop the skill set so they can stay in recovery for the rest of their life. So you can end the chaos finally, right? And if you hire us, we want to get it right the first time. I always say I'm one of the few lawyers who probably doesn't want repeat customers, at least from the same client, because if that's happening, something went wrong, right? Either, and there's a myriad of things. I mean, I don't want to get into it in this video, but you get the idea, right? We want to get it right the first time. And permanent guardianship can help us to get that. But in order to get permanent guardianship, it can take 4 to 6 weeks. Well, if somebody calls us and there is an imminent threat, either to the person or their property, we want to get to court a bit quicker. So the ETG, the Emergency Temporary Guardianship, allows us to do that. And depending on the court, how busy the judge is, all those things, typically we're in court somewhere between 2 and 5 days. Okay, so it's a pretty quick process. But I want to just say this. You cannot file just the ETG. And I get families calling us all the time. I just want an emergency guardianship. I don't need permanent guardianship. Well, you can't file them separate. You got to file a petition for permanent guardianship, a petition to determine incapacity, because if they're not declared incapacitated, you can't get a guardianship, a permanent guardianship. And the add-on, right, the French fries with the hamburger, as it were, is the petition for emergency temporary guardianship. So you can't file them separately. You got to file it all together, because if you don't, the clerk is going to say, bye, you filed it wrong, dismissed, right? They're going to throw the case back at us and not accept the case. It's never going to get in front of the judge. So that's the emergency temporary guardianship, a very useful, powerful tool, again, if you know how to use it. And I've been saying this before, my wife is a genius with this stuff. She pretty much wrote the book on how to use guardianship for behavioral health cases. So I hope all those lawyers out there who are attempting to do this work will at least acknowledge and thank my wife. So with that said, that's the ETG. Now, if there's another issue going on in your family and I've not made a video about it, well, let me know. Post in the comments. I will make you that video. Also included in the description for this video is a link to our brand new book all about the Marchman Act, which is a wonderful, powerful, unique statute here in Florida that we sometimes file with a guardianship, again, depending on the case, depending on the facts, depending on what you want, like what's the family's goal here. Sometimes we'll file it with a guardianship, but it can also be filed on its own. And I wrote a book all about it. You just click on the link that's in the description, give us your name, your email address, and I'll send it to you, 100% free. So that's the Marchman Act book. If you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. Really helps with the Google algorithm, which means hopefully more people get to see it and we can help more people. And if you want more of this content I make every day for you, please subscribe to the channel. With that said, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.